You know, when you hear the name Rolls-Royce, what comes to mind? Probably effortless perfection, right? Luxury. But the story behind that name? Well, it was anything but. It's this incredible journey that doesn't start in some fancy workshop, but in the depths of poverty. It's the story of how one man's obsession, born from pure hardship, created the ultimate symbol of engineering. And believe me, that's not an exaggeration at all. This is the wild paradox at the heart of the Rolls-Royce story, and it all starts with one person, a man named Henry Royce. All right, so let's dive into his early life, which was, to put it mildly, defined by one hardship after another. Just try to imagine this. By the time he's 4 years old, his family loses everything. By 9, his dad is dead, and he's out there working just to survive. There was really no clear path forward for him. But then, at age 14, a single act of kindness just changes everything. His aunt steps in and sponsors an apprenticeship for him. This was it, his one and only shot at a different life. And boy, did he seize it. For 3 straight years, he worked day and night. He was like a sponge, just devouring every book he could get his hands on. He wasn't just learning a trade, he was basically reverse engineering a formal education for himself. By 17, before he was even technically an adult, he had turned himself into a fully capable engineer, all on his own. So get this, by 21, Royce isn't just looking for a job anymore. He's creating them. With a grand total of 20 pounds to his name, he and a friend start their own electrical company. They built their entire reputation, one tiny repair job at a time, just proving how good they were with every single project. Things were finally looking up. His business was a success, he had a family, but that stability he fought so hard for, it was about to be completely shattered. And this next crisis would either break him for good or force him to create something truly extraordinary. Turns out, his success was pretty fragile. A flood of cheap competition from Germany and America just wiped out his business. And the stress, the immense pressure of it all pushed him to a complete breakdown, both physically and mentally. He had hit absolute rock bottom. And right in the middle of all this, his doctor gives him this really strange piece of advice. Buy a car, get some fresh air. So he does. He goes out and buys a French car, a Decauville. And this car, oh man, it was a mechanical disaster. It was noisy, the brakes were terrible, and it was constantly failing. Now, for a perfectionist like Henry Royce, this machine, it was just unacceptable. He didn't just want to fix it. He felt this deep, burning need to re-engineer the whole thing from the ground up. He took the entire car apart, determined to build something far, far better. An automobile that was quiet, durable, and reliable in all the ways the original was not. And you know what? He actually did it. On April 1st, 1904, the very first car built on his principles of perfection hit the road. It was tested and it performed flawlessly. He'd built a truly world-class car. But that created a whole new problem, right? How do you sell it to the world? And that's where the other half of the story comes in. A man who had everything Royce didn't: wealth, connections, salesmanship, and a crazy passion for high-speed cars. I mean, they were two sides of the same coin. You had Royce, the obsessive genius, totally focused on mechanical perfection. And then you had Charles Rolls, a charismatic aristocrat and businessman who was desperately searching for a high-quality British car to sell in his dealership. I mean, you couldn't have written it better. It was the perfect match. And the connection? It was instant. After driving Royce's car and meeting the man himself, Rolls told his business partner, "I have found the world's greatest engineer." He just knew, right in that moment, that he had found something and someone truly special. So that was that. They made it official, the partnership was formed, and the whole premise was brilliantly simple. Royce builds the best car in the world, and Rolls sells it. Rolls-Royce Limited was born. And the company hit the ground running. I mean, immediate success. But their greatest challenges, a series of crises that would have destroyed pretty much any other company, were just around the corner. Okay, so first, let's just talk about their masterpiece, the Silver Ghost. To prove it was the best, they put it through this insane 24,000-kilometer non-stop endurance test. And it passed, without a single mechanical issue. That's what cemented its reputation as the best car in the world. But right at the peak of this success, their world was about to be rocked by tragedy. And it was just one devastating blow after another. In 1910, Charles Rolls, who was also a huge aviation pioneer, died tragically in a plane crash. Just a year later, Royce himself gets diagnosed with cancer and is told he has just months to live. And then, as if that wasn't enough, World War I breaks out, and the market for luxury cars, it just completely vanishes, literally overnight. I mean, that should have been the end, right? But Royce, who miraculously survived his illness, absolutely refused to let the company die. He pivoted. He adapted that ultra-reliable silver gauze chassis for the war, turning them into armored cars and ambulances. But his real stroke of genius was realizing the country's desperate need for powerful aircraft engines. So Royce basically taught himself aero engine design and created these incredibly powerful, reliable engines that gave Allied pilots a critical edge in the sky. So this one move, this pivot, didn't just save the company, it completely redefined it and established Rolls-Royce as a dominant force in aviation, a legacy that, continues to this day. So, coming out of the war with this reputation that was literally forged in crisis, Rolls-Royce was ready for a whole new era of dominance. And they didn't just survive, they absolutely thrived. They launched the legendary Phantom, reclaiming their title. They even bought their main rival, Bentley, in 1931. Sir Henry Royce finally passed away in 1933, having outlived his doctor's dire predictions by decades and leaving behind this immortal legacy of perfection. And even today, with the car and aviation parts of the business now separated under different owners, that name, Rolls-Royce, it still means just one thing: the absolute best. It's really a testament to the relentless, obsessive perfectionism of its founder. So it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How does someone who started with literally nothing, who faced constant failure and unbelievable tragedy, go on to create the world's most enduring symbol of flawless perfection? Maybe true perfection isn't about avoiding hardship at all. Maybe it's about